Yeah.
Hey, how you guys doing? Good.
Yeah.
Good seeing you. Yeah.
Better question is how you're doing.
I'm good. I'm great. You know,
Linebackers doing well? And
Yeah.
Seeing what you need to see, what you hope to see back in the winter, back in the spring?
yeah, man, they're progressing. They're working their tail off, leading. So, yeah, I'm very pleased with where we're trending. We still got to keep working. I always say that because I got to keep doing a better job. They got to keep doing a better job. That's how I look at it, you know. So
We keep hearing about Barron. What is he doing that is working?
being himself, believing in himself. I mean, kid's a great player. And you know what? If people keep saying he's a great player, he's very bright. He's probably one of the brightest guys I've ever been around. I mean, he is, like, as much as he meets, I mean, he is one of the best minds I've been around. And that's not, you know, I'm being sincere with that. I mean, he is, so he's progressing, man. He's playing the way he should play. He's still got to get better. I love the way his mind is right now. He's always focused on, he's getting better. And it's awesome to see.
What is his role right now?
His role is to be a middle linebacker. That's his role. And to be anything else we see him being, you know, so.
And Coach Madison was talking about how middle linebacker, the Mike and the Will,
Interchangeable.
are pretty much interchangeable.
That's right.
Can you speak more about that and maybe some of the other guys that are in the mix there that can play both spots?
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of the mix. I mean, you guys know how it's organized in terms of like outside backers and inside backers. Mike, Will, they're pretty interchangeable, you know, and we've kind of trained our guys that way because it's all about, you know, number one thing is putting our guys in position to excel. Another thing is, you know, hey, we got depth. There's no mystery. Let's utilize that. Why sit guys down when you don't need to? Let's roll. You know, let's get, because nowadays when you play these tempo teams, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to stress you out. You see the defensive line rotate. You don't see it as much at the second level, but when you got guys like we got that are not only talented, but it's almost like 1A, 1B. You know, that's kind of, you know, I think that's the goal.
How's Taraja doing? There's been a lot of talk about Barron and Tuf, and there's so many guys, Malik and everybody else. How's he doing?
He's doing great, man. Taraj is he's getting better every day. His mentality and his approach is beyond his age. He's going to be a great player.
Some of the guys said that they could see you suiting up, and you say, if I could, I mean,
oh yeah.
Like
no,
no, come on.
No, I'm not.
But you miss it. I mean, when you're that close to it.
Yeah, listen, I am completely living through them. All right, yeah. First down, that's maybe get 3 downs. That's it. You know,
You could give us 3
I can
downs.
give you 3 downs, and I don't know how the third down will look. But nah, I love practice because I love football because, you know, it's like, you know, it's just such a passionate game. So yeah, I'm in it with my players. That's my style. That's what you don't have. Not everybody's that way, but that's the way I communicate.
Al, Tuf came back last year from obviously a tough injury and played through it, but by his own admission, wasn't fully healthy. What have you seen from him this summer and this year?
Well, it looks like he. I mean, I see why he was. I see why he's the captain, and I see why he was on the I think a watch list. I think the Buckeyes watch list. I think it was. I mean, he is an ultra competitive kid. He's gotten better from practice 1 to now. He's a perfectionist. So that's what I've seen. Because, you know, the spring I get a chance to see him really. And I love that kid.
Now, when you talk about Tuf there, people have asked about wanting to see Barron out there. They want to see Taraji and these younger guys. What is it about Tuf that enables him to hold them off or stay in that lineup the way he has?
Yeah, you know what? When people say, I want to see this, that, and that, you know what? Hey, how about this? How about let's see them all? And, you know, the reason you ask the question, how does Tuf do it? You watch the tape. You come in with me and watch the tape.
I'd like to, yeah.
And that was, but you understand what I'm saying? There's a reason. You just said it. And that kid is a warrior, and he gets to the ball. And so, you know, and Taraja and Barron, those guys are gonna play too. We're all together, you know. So when people say that, you know, I feel like they're not living in our. But you know what? It's all good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He's really soft-spoken with us, and he doesn't talk about the criticism. He seems like he's maybe aware of it, but he won't.
Yeah, he don't. You know what? We talk about it every day. You know what? The criticism and the compliments. It's about what you think. You look in the mirror, and you know if you're putting in the work. Okay, and so you've got to. This is the beautiful thing about right now with these guys, you got to learn how to create your mind, your create the mindset you want to have. And so, like, when people criticize, I hear it all the time. I don't pay it any mind. You know, we come to work, and you look at your body of work in practice, and you evaluate that. And I like that he's soft-spoken, because his actions speak louder anyway, right?
Yeah.
You think about that. He's a soft-spoken leader, captain. They voted him. You know what I mean? So that's what you want. And so, you know, I'm excited for him. He's feeling good. And to the kid's credit, he's worked himself to that point. And, you know, he's going to continue to work. We still got a lot of work to do. But, yeah, so.
I don't know what you saw on this team last year, but several guys have said it's been simplified for us. It's use your instinct, see the ball, hit ball. I mean, it's apparently less thinking, more doing.
Yeah, you know what? Like, so, like Greg Schiano, for example, like that guy, those guys are great coaches, man. And so when people say that, I feel like they just, it's kind of like a
cut.
A cut. Listen, you got to think to play ball. You can't be so static that you get up there, they know what you're doing. You'll get killed. I don't care who you are. So there's some complexities to it, but we preach fundamentals. I can just tell you from my room, we're all about what we do, our skill set. It's more than just running to the ball. How do you defeat blocks? Where are your eyes? What are your feet doing? Where's your leverage? When you get to the junction point, are you exploding? We try to.
That's 10 things to think about right there.
Right, but those are muscle memory things. So we're trying to develop that habit, and then within that, all right, we got a call. What's your objective? And then this beautiful thing is now starting to grow into, all right, what are you seeing in the formation? What's the formation telling you? And then that's football to me. You know, when you start, so I think that, you know, this year people say it's simple. I mean, it's not. You're not going to be able to line up and see. You're not going to be able to see everything. You know, so there's some complexities, just like every defense. I just think our guys now are, you know, we're just preaching running to the ball. We're preaching fundamentals, man. That's kind of what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. It's
Blocking and tackling.
Now, Pete,
that's football.
what have you seen from Pete Werner, especially this preseason camp? Because a lot, like you were talking about a while ago about Tuf Borland and stuff. A lot of people thought these guys were really going to get challenged, and they have been challenged, I guess.
Yeah.
But what have you seen from Pete, especially, that's caught your eye?
The fact that Pete will do exactly what you need him to do, and he will bust his tail, and he just finds a way to get to the ball. Pete Werner, this camp, has had probably one of the best camps I've seen a guy have. I'm just not just saying that. I mean, that guy is a warrior, and I have a ton of respect for him the way he goes about his business. And again, he's not alone. We've had some really good performers this camp. That kid, I mean, respect through the roof, and he has a crazy skill set.
Yeah. Well, near the end of the year last year, he kind of almost became a forgotten guy. I mean, you know, and did you challenge him? How did you get this to come out of him?
You know, Pete is kind of guy where you don't need to. There's no mind games with him. Like, you know, I'm gonna say that. You just tell, hey Pete, do it, next time do it like this. He's like, got it. You know, he's like the Terminator. You know what I mean?
In other words, you saw him as being hungry to know, to learn your way, so to speak.
Yeah, he's just a learner. He's just thirsty for information. I'll tell you a story. So we were at a special teams meeting, and we're watching Pete Werner when he was a young pup on kickoff, right? Now he's an older guy, and the one of the coaches stood in front of the special teams room and just said, hey, this is a clip of Pete Werner running down, playing kickoff, doing a great job. But here he is today taking notes on it. You know, like, he is a kind of guy who's constantly working on growing and constantly working on figuring out more. So, I mean, that's Pete Werner, man. I mean, he's probably watching film now. I mean, that's just how he is, and that's why he's a great player, you know, and why we trust him, you know. So.
And Pete, with that Sam position, I think Coach Madsen kind of described it as interchangeable with the bullet.
That's right.
So, is Pete effectively in the bullet role, or how do you guys differentiate between?
You got to ask Ryan Day that question. And all I'm gonna tell you is this: it is to echo what Coach Matty said. It is interchangeable, and you know, you got to have a skill. There's similar skill sets there.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
How much film of the linebackers last year did you watch, or did you want to have a clean slate?
I kind of want to have a clean slate. I watched a little bit, but I mean, I kind of want to have a clean slate. Like, when I got here in the winter, they were in off-season workouts, and so I just wanted to get to know them through that, you know, because I don't want anybody judging me on. I want people. Hey, I want to be judged on what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? And especially guys are young, they grow, evolve, I should say. So that was kind of what my mindset was coming here, and so last year was last year, and this year's got to be.
Because your unit, obviously it wasn't your unit, but the linebackers took a lot of criticism, and they would say some of it deservedly so. With what you've seen this year, you look at your unit now and go, well, this I don't even recognize that as that or these things. But how do you view it?
I'm proud of them. I mean, all you can judge them on right now for me is how are they now compared to January, and not just football, but I'm talking off the field. Academically, they're doing excellent. I say they're doing excellent. They show up on time. When they're in the weight room with Coach Mick, it's not going to be any other way. They work their tails off. In the meetings, they take notes. They get out here and practice. They work. If something's wrong, they get it fixed. And we got a rich relationship. I mean, hell, my wife, included, we're all in this together, and they all know her, and it's just it feels like a family. So I'm proud of that. But we gotta play. So everything's leading up. So to this point, I'm proud of them, and hell, all of them. Even the young guys, the scout team guys, all of them, because they all represent our defense. And so I think we're getting that form, which is the first step. I think you got to form that first, and then so we're about to start playing, so we got to play.
Al, where do you have Kevon Pope playing? Is he at Willards now?
He's a linebacker. To answer you, to be honest.
Yeah. You may not be thinking about depth chart or who's going to start, all that stuff. Yeah. In your mind, though, is there really a lot of indecision? Is it really up in the air 10 days before the season starts?
Nah. Come on, you gotta have an idea, but we're still practicing. We're still preparing, so we kind of take it a day at a time. Nice thing is we have depth, man, and we've done it. I think we've done a good job defensively at allowing our guys to experience different things at different spots. So nobody's pigeonholed. I think everything complements each other. So now it's time for guys to just support each other and play their tails off.
How many linebackers do you think you can play that you'll play in the first quarter against Florida Atlantic, or first half?
I don't know that. I couldn't tell you. Depends how many plays they run. Could not tell you that. To be honest with you.
But we assume Barron will be playing, Tuf will be playing. You got your Will and your Sam. Do you see it like you've got 6 guys that can play at any time, or?
Yeah, I kind of do. I do. I think we do. There's a level of trust with the guys that we have for sure, and especially guys who played last year. You know what I mean? Because you can't. Experience is experience. But to answer that question, I couldn't intelligently do that. I can just tell you we feel good about it, what we got going into it, and as we get closer to game time, that's what we got to do.
You had to know you were inheriting a very talented group. Has the depth been a pleasant surprise, or has that been kind of what you expected as well?
Yeah, man, they're a talented group. The depth is real, but talent's one thing, man. But being able to put it together is another. And those guys, they get it, man. So that has been a pleasant surprise. But we still got a lot of room to grow.
I know that you guys have mentioned Pope specifically as a guy that really impressed them so far in camp. What has he done in your impression?
But Pope has done a lot, man. He's been at the ball a lot, man. The guy and the kid's been working his tail off. He's learning. While some guys played, really one spot, he's had a chance to experience different spots. And sometimes, man, as a young guy, you get a new system. It's not easy, and so he's really he's embraced that. And throughout that, we've seen flashes of Pope. It was my first chance to see him too. There's a couple moments in the camp, you're like, holy shit, who is this? Like when you watch tape, it's like this random guy flying. You're like, who is that? So he's gonna be special, and so yeah.
How important do you think it was for Kayvon and Dallas and those guys to play special teams last year to get those reps?
Huge. You kidding me? If you're a linebacker, a freshman linebacker, and you're playing, you gotta play on special teams because the skill set marries up too well what you're doing on a day-to-day, on a play-to-play basis, right? Take kickoff, for example. You gotta be able to defeat blocks, finish on the ball. You take pump block. You take any phase. Those guys, historically, that's been a rite of passage. We were watching a clip of Zeke Elliott on kickoff knocking the hell out of somebody. So yeah, I think it's very important for freshmen, especially linebackers.
Have you seen any reluctance from Cade, from Craig, from those guys to do that?
No, those guys are chomping at the bit, man. You can tell them right now, hey man, we need you to do this. They'd be here right now. So yeah, and that speaks to the culture, special teams culture. Matt Barnes has done an unbelievable job, and obviously it's all well documented that Coach Meyer, that's a staple of his programs for years, and Coach Day is going to keep doing that. He's going to continue that. Coach Day's involved with special teams every meeting, every phase, so I think the kids feed into that, and so, hey, I'm going to just tell you this, if I'm a young player and I see these, Ohio State legends playing, receivers, no matter what position, running backs, hey, sign me up. So that's kind of the attitude our guys have in terms of special teams.
I know you wanted to enter this with a clean slate, but if you look at just what you've said about the guys who started last year and then Barron, those are the 4 guys who played most last year, and it just seems like they're sort of the 4 guys who might play most again this year. How do you think you ended up with those 4 guys as sort of in similar positions to where they were last year?
Question for Coach.
I think that, I think they created that because they did such a fine job, and I did have a clean slate. I think saying like you have experience at what you do, it'll show, and so when you don't have the experience all the time, sometimes you have to experience those tough moments, if that makes any sense. So to answer your question, those 4 guys played a lot. So their learning curve is going to be different. They're going to be able to roll. They've been around different systems, so but the season's long. We're going to need everybody, So we're going to need them all. So we kick the ball off on FAU 31st, right? We'll go from there.
Coach, thank you very
Thanks.
much.